So the first opportunity that came today, October 2nd, 2023, was on that of gold futures. Um, there was a good bounce that showed the opportunity right where the upside is. Okay. And if you go on the 1 minute, you would see that it's very close to a sell zone, closer than the 2 minute. So this is a bit of a very fairly risky trade. Um, but the idea is that it would still move about a point before it ever thinks of coming back down. And so I'm going to go in and I'm going to see what it's going to do. And hopefully we're able to get a good $100 from it. So I'm now going in on my second trade on NASDAQ. I'm going to be trading the 1 minute, which I am not used to. I'm more used to the 2 minutes. I'm seeing a better opportunity on the 1 minute than on the 2 minute. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can go for $600, which will be 20 points on NASDAQ. I'm going to be loading 15 contracts and we'll see how that goes. Hopefully goes as planned, but again, it's a bit more risky only because I'm playing a time zone or a time interval that I'm not very used to. So we'll see how it goes. So this trade didn't go fully as planned, although thankfully I got $200 out of it. I was going for $600 on 20 points, which is $300 every 10 points. Didn't quite work out that way because I was playing on the 1 minute, which wasn't my style. So again, lesson learned, I have to adjust and I have to make sure that if I'm going to play the 1 minute, I have to be as confident as I am on the 2 minute. Otherwise, I just don't play the 1 minute at all. But at least I got some money out of it, but I didn't quite get my full $600. So lesson learned. So the next trade was a pretty good one, but I had to do some testing on where the best entry was. This just came directly from just instinct of understanding how NASDAQ moves. So essentially, at the very top, you have that minor sell zone. And so there was a chance that they were going to pull back about 10 to 15 points before it ran. So I said that I had to find the right entry point based on movement, based on price action, based on behavior of NASDAQ. And after trying a few times, as you're going to see in the video, eventually I got the right entry point and I was able to make a quick $100 and basically wait for the next setup after that. Okay, so now this is going to be my third trade on NASDAQ. Notice that gold, which was my first trade of the day, is still going. That's how slow gold is. Okay. But this trade was a bit of a careless trade. It was a high risk trade. I think I may have done a bit of FOMO on this one, if I had to be honest with myself. But it was one of my older strategies from the past that I've tweaked and I've essentially gotten rid of. But I thought it was going to work. I was a bit more sure than I needed to be, maybe slightly overconfident. And so I went in thinking that it was going to work out. And as you're going to see, I got burned. so it didn't quite work. But at least I set my risk management that I wasn't going to lose too much. So I think I only lost like $100 on this one. The next trading opportunity was again on NASDAQ, and this one was also another fairly risky trade, only because I was at a minor buy zone. I think based on what I was seeing, I was probably a bit short biased on this trade. I thought it was going to break it because it was again a minor um, buy zone, but it did work out eventually, but not without some scary moments. Almost hit my stop loss, but it didn't quite hit there, and I was able to escape with this one. But making adjustments in the future, I just wouldn't go in on ones like these, even if they're minor buy or sell zones. So this trade was my final trade for the day. At this point, I had lost, I believe it was $200 on gold. So right now, my net P&L is at $200 for the day. And I'm going in on NASDAQ one more time, and I'm hoping to make a good amount because I wanted to make at least $600 for the day. And So I went in on NASDAQ, and again, it was partially an instinct play, knowing that NASDAQ had hit, it seems like, a major buy zone. It was starting to become a major buy zone. It went from a minor to a major, and because it was a triple bounce, so you had three different times where it tested that point and it bounced right back up. So now it's actually looking like it's potentially going to go on a run, and which is what I did. So I had to go in very aggressively because I wasn't sure it was going to go back to the real entry point that I wanted. But then I loaded a bit smaller than I would if I got the actual entry point that I wanted. So eventually it did what it needed to do, and on this trade alone, I made $400. Enjoy. So with that, that brings me to the end of my trading day today. And like I said, I made $400 on the last trade, and overall, between my wins and my losses, I was able to finish with $600. As you're going to see right there, 616. And that concludes my entire trading session.